From LALATE News headquarters in Santa Monica, this is Mornings LALATE.
It's a big morning of a beautiful day along the coast here in Santa Monica, California, with two new stimulus checks that became law overnight. While the latest details across the board in a big broadcast. Yesterday, student loan debt forgiveness announced. Today, the latest jobless claims released. Tomorrow, Jackson Hole with Jay Powell. We start today with those major companies and their major guidance downward for the rest of this year. We'll go over the latest details you need to know in a big broadcast today. Plus, two new stimulus checks that became law overnight. Wow, the exciting details of now 12 categories of checks, bringing it to a whopping 100 checks across the board. We'll go over everything you need to know in this recording. Plus, as inflation could be tracking higher in the United States, what's happening with your benefit raises? In this recording, we'll go over how much they're raising up, and we'll have the latest numbers that came in minutes ago. Jobless claims. Did they go down? Did they go up? Plus, we'll go over those incredible 4 stimulus checks in every U.S. state. Become a member. Purple Hawk, Purple Power, Casino VIP. Go into the video and join this channel to now get 12 categories of checks, over 100 checks in today's recording. We got a lot of money to go over because the toast is toasting, the butter is buttering, the coffee is brewing, and it's starting not to be beach weather anymore. It's starting not to be beach weather anymore. But as the beach weather disappears, the lobster shorts are still non-negotiable. It's a great morning. It's on August 25th, 2022 from the shores of Santa Monica, California. Today we have big checks for you in this big broadcast. We have the latest numbers on unemployment, 2 new rounds of checks. We have the latest details on the Fed governor's guidance from Jay Powell at Jackson Hole tomorrow. And of course, we have the student loan debt forgiveness that was announced yesterday. Plus, I'll be debating what one economist said about the recession throughout the day, and he is a Nobel Peace laureate. I'm not. I'll just give you my peace of mind. Today's morning, a lot of money, a lot of deliciousness from the shores of Santa Monica, California. It's a big broadcast, it's a big mornings, and it all heats up starting right now. And good morning, everybody. Hope you're having a beautiful day. It's August 25th, 2022 from the shores of Santa Monica, California. It's been a big week. It's a big day, and it's not over yet this week. Yesterday, student loan debt forgiveness announced by the president as predicted on this channel. Then, today, the jobless claims. Tomorrow, Jay Powell and team will be speaking in Jackson Hole, giving you guidance on those interest rates and this inflationary environment. But we start today with, of course, the major news coming in with more corporate earnings. More corporate earnings are coming in, and now guidance as well. We have ended the season generally for second quarter earnings announcements from corporate America, but now we're going to downward guidance for the rest of this year. It's very important because the guidance gives you guidance on your money, your economy, and is the economy getting weaker or stronger? We start, of course, today with Dollar Tree and also Dollar General. Do you think the tree did better than the general? It's a dollar and it's a tree versus a dollar and a general. Well, Dollar Tree really missed. It missed on top and bottom. No, it actually gave you guidance downward for the rest of the year. That's actually worse. Dollar Tree is giving you downward guidance for the whole rest of this year. It says it's going to be a tough year, and the stock is down 6.6% in pre-market trading today. Jump over to Dollar General. Same story, not a tree, just a general. Still a dollar. Well, no, it's totally different results. They reported quarterly earnings today. They did report corporate earnings today, better than expected. The stock up dramatically. Sales forceful or weak? Very weak. Stock is down 6.3% in pre-market trading as it gave full guidance downward for the rest of this year. Oh, second company, second announcement. NVIDIA also missed on top and bottom, down 3.6%. And Abercrombie and Finch, I used to love buying there. Used to. Well, guess what? It's down 10.2%, 10.5% in pre-market trading as it reported losses bigger than expected. Peloton tumbled. Should that be said in one sentence? Yeah. Peloton fell off the bike today, down 17.5% in pre-market trading, missed on top and bottom, and there you go. Snowflake, not a flake, not a snow. Surged a whopping 20% in pre-market trading as it really beat across the board. Wow, what a big day it was. And of course, it started today with the jobless claims. It's Thursday morning. It's Mornings LATE. It's live on air. You love this. We've been doing this on the channel for now close to 2 years. And we know what every Thursday morning, the jobless claims. Make it clear, this is not this week's jobless claims. It's last week's jobless claims. And to make this even more complicated, they revised the prior week's announcement today. So what were we last week? We were 250,000. Today, they revised last week, and then they also announced the week, they announced a new week today. We have surged on unemployment claims from 140,000 in the month of April to 260,000. I said it was going to go from 140 to 200. I got it right. Then I said from 200 to 230. I got it right. Then from 230 to 260, I got it right. And then I started getting it very wrong. I started getting it very, very wrong. I said it was going to go from 260 to 265. It did not. So what happened today? And I got to say this slowly because it is sort of complicated because I'm going to say it this way. This week, when I say this week, it's referring to the announcement this week, which is not this week, obviously. It's last week's claims. So this week came in lower than last week, which they revised since announcing it last week. Last week, as you know, was 250,000 new jobless claims. They revised that number today. They revised last week downward. So last week was actually not as many jobless claims. Last week is no longer 250. It was revised down to 245,000. And wait, I'm looking at this. I'm thinking, did I butcher this for afternoons? I don't know. You know, it's confusing when they revised last week and they announced this week all in one breath. So the way I reported it on afternoons is they revised last week and it's up from last week 2,000. And I'm looking again now and maybe it's revised last week and now it's down to, it's basically the same darn number. It's 243, 245, 250. It's just basically the same number. It's really hard because they're revising the prior week and now they're bringing it up to this. It's basically the same number. We'll move on. It's somewhere in the 240, 243. It's not a particularly good number because guess what? This is still about the second highest jobless claims of 2022. The other major story that's really developing, of course, was that announcement for student loan debt forgiveness. This, of course, is stimulus because you don't have to pay for the money anymore. The announcement came yesterday. It culminates no less than 2 years of recordings on this channel. I told you in February this year what he was going to announce, and he made the announcement yesterday. Back in February of this year, I said the President of the United States was going to announce student loan debt forgiveness of $10,000 for individuals making $150,000. I made the announcement on this channel February. 2 days ago, NBC reported it as their exclusive. Sure. Sure. So what was the announcement yesterday from the President of the United States? It was basically what I had been reporting since February, just a little bit different on the numbers. It is $10,000 for everyone except Pell's Grant. More about them in a second. It's just the income is not 150, it's 125. So individuals make 125,000 or less, you qualify. Married couple who make 250 or less, you qualify. What is it? It is $10,000 of student loan debts forgiven. Now, the surprise that no one saw coming at all is he said it's going to be $20,000 for individuals who are on Pell's Grant. So again, 20,000 who are on Pell's Grant, everyone else 10,000. You have to make 125,000 or less single individual, married couple 250 or less. The more important story is the tax implications of this. I got to be very clear to you. You need to go to a tax preparer on this one. The federal government in the American Rescue Plan earlier this year, third stimulus, made the forgiveness of federal student loan debts a non-taxable taxable federal event. But states determine their own rules. And I can't record 50 states for you. Some states follow federal law, some states don't. What is the guy who knows this better than anyone else saying? Go to a tax preparer. His name is Mark Kranowitz. He is an education expert. He said, please go to tax preparer for this one if you have student loan debt forgiveness, because it's too complicated. Yeah, you may not have to pay federal taxes on it. Yes, you may have to pay state taxes. No one knows for you because it's in one recording, because it's 50 possible variations across the board. Go to a tax preparer on this one. Well, the other major story heating up for tomorrow is Jackson Hole. The head of the Federal Reserve will be speaking at Jackson Hole tomorrow, and he'll make an announcement on the interest rate spikes and what to expect. This is very important for you and your benefits. First, let's go over what he's going to say, and also let's go over why Wall Street got it so wrong. The Federal Reserve Chairman Jay Powell will be speaking at Jackson Hole during a conference on Friday. And I already told you what he's going to be saying. We already know what he's saying because the Fed governor has already told you what he's going to be saying. We're going to stay with interest rate spikes indefinitely to get inflation to 2%. Pretty easy, right? Yeah, pretty easy. How many interest rate spikes? Well, Bowman says staying where we basically are. 75 basis points in the month of July, 75 basis points in the month of June. Wall Street got this really wrong. Wall Street got this really wrong. I've been saying for over 2 weeks that I believe my projection is that the Federal Reserve will be having a 75 basis point September, October, November, December until they get inflation 2%. Wall Street said, no, they're going to have one interest rate in September and that will be it. And then the stock market crashed. I projected the stock market was going to crash all last weekend because I said the Wall Street analysts have not embedded the risk of more interest rate spikes past September, when obviously if inflation is 8.5%, they need to get to 2%. It's not going to go from 8.5 to 2 in 1 month, September. And that's why the Wall Street Dow Jones crashed 650 points on Monday. That's why it was down 150 points on Tuesday. And that's why they now realize they made a calculated error. How did you know it was a calculated error? Because the Fed governors have told you. They said last week, Bowman, Daly, Boulard, that they keep on interest rates spiking until they get that inflation down. Now, the great news is 2 new stimulus checks are now with us. It now brings us to 12 categories. I'll say that slowly again because sometimes I misstated. Categories of stimulus checks. Yes, 12 categories. It's not 12 checks. It's over 100 to 200 checks in 12 categories. We're going to go over those checks in just a second. This is on top of the lifetime stimulus. What is the lifetime stimulus? The lifetime stimulus is people on benefits. Your benefits are going up a lot. Why? Because inflation is really high. SSI, SSDI, Social Security, or rural benefits. First, let's go over why, and then we'll go over how, and then we'll go over the actual calculation. This lifetime stimulus is happening because once your benefits go up, they never go down. Once your benefits go up, they never go down. So let's say your benefits go up 10% this year. They're never going to go less than that. They'll always be at least 10%. And this is huge. So now let's go over why. They're going up because inflation has simply surged really high. In the month of July, July 13th, the CPI beat, the PPI beat the day after, and the retail sales beat thereafter as well. Then we watched basically to watch the inflation come in May to a whopping 8.6% with the Consumer Price Index, CPI, how much you pay for milk and eggs and similar products. 8.6 in May. What happened in June? A whopping 9.1%. So you and I understood that we need to see that inflation for July, released August 10th, to be about the same or higher, and that to see that happen 2 more months. What happened? Last week, August 10th, the number was basically flat. The headline number, Consumer Price Index, what you pay for goods, was flat. The component parts were higher. And then the day after, the PPI flat, producer price, what the wholesaler pays for, and the retail sales also flat across the board. Now let's go over why this is important for you, and then we'll go over the calculation and what you should expect and how we can project this across the board. your benefits are going up a lot. Why? Your benefits are tied to something called COLA, cost of living adjustment, and that is determined by the CPI-W for the month of July, released last week, the month of August, released September 10th, and the month of September, released October 10th. If inflation stays where it is or higher, then your benefits are going up a lot. We'll go over how much your benefits going up in just a second, but it's basically 3 months of data. You, if you're on SSI, SSDI, Social Security, or railroad benefits. Now, let's go over how that works. Direct deposit? Yes, otherwise in the mail. Do you have to do anything? No. Automatic. You, if you're on SSI, SSDI, Social Security, railroad benefits, or more. And it's dependent on 3 months of data. Same amount? No, some of you have more than 5,000. Some of you have less than 5,000. Same percentage? Absolutely same percentage. All right, so what is the percentage and what is our projections on that percentage? The percentage that's been floating around with the number that came in last week is 10.1%. Do I agree? Do you disagree? Let's go over why that number may be a little bit conservative. That number released last week for the CPI on August 10th was 8.5%. Let's remember that, 8.5%, the CPI last week. It's 1 month of 3 months of data. Your COLA determines how much your benefits go up, COLA, cost of living adjustment, but it's determined by 3 months of the data released last Wednesday. The CPI-W released last Wednesday, month 1. The next month released September. The month after that released October. But do we need to live out 3 months of data? No, we can see it right today. Do you see the milk and eggs going up or about the same flat? I see about flat. Do you see that the labor or the rent is about the same or flat or higher? I see about the same flat. Do you see that the gasoline is about the same or higher? I see it higher. Here you go. I told you gasoline was going to go higher. The international price of Brent crude is tracking higher. It was 92 last week. It is now 102. If you remember, it was in the membership newsletter last night. It's likely to go to 104. On the other side, the domestic unleaded is going down 10 cents per day. It's not going to keep on going down because it's guided by the price of Brent crude. The seniors league, when looking at the number last week, 8.5%, said, you know what? I think that if it stays that way, your benefits are going up 10.1%. So I think it's relatively conservative. We'll analyze it more on Evenings LA tonight. I think it's relatively conservative because the component parts are about the same or going higher, and the gasoline is clearly going higher on the international Brent crude level. Wow. Incredible news across the board. The other big story, of course, is 2 new checks that became law, and were jumped on this channel yesterday. They joined the 3 stimulus checks, which became law in the month of March. First 3, check A, B, and C. Then the 7 stimulus checks that became a law by Congress 2 Sundays ago. That's E, F, G, H, I, J, K. And then 2 new checks that are now added to this family, found by me yesterday, checks L and M. That brings us to 12 categories of checks. Yes, 12 categories of checks. And over those 12 categories of checks, over those 12 categories of checks, over 100 to 200 checks. Incredible. The first 3 checks are huge, A, B, and C. The first 3 checks are about $100,000. 4 stimulus passed by the President of the United States by executive action in the month of March. It's about $100,000. The first 3 checks, A, B, and C. You qualify. Single individual, $75,000 less, go get it. Married couple, $150,000 less, go get it. If you're on benefits, SSI, SSDI, Social Security, or railroad benefits, go get it as well. How do you get it? You become a member. Go right on this video, become a member. Purple Hawk, Purple Power Casino VIP. Go under the membership, under the video, and join this channel. You qualify. Why would you not get these checks? The first 3 checks, again, are A, B, and C. Where are they? In the membership newsletter. How do you get it? Become a member. And one of the benefits of becoming a member is the membership newsletter, and also the membership newsletter, in addition to those now 12 categories of checks, over 100 checks in the membership newsletter, also is this, the worksheets. The worksheets are a series of pages, a PDF, which you can print out from your phone or download. Download. And in them, you can go, or you can take notes of them on a separate piece of paper. Those 12 categories of checks are absolutely incredible. Those 12 categories of checks are huge. And in those worksheets, you can print them out and take notes. The first page of the worksheets is critical. And today we learn a lot more about these first 3 pages of the worksheets. Let's go over the first 3 pages of those worksheets right now. In page 1, we have inflation, recession, and also labor and the Federal Reserve. And first, inflation. Inflation is not tracking down anytime soon. It may ease on the headline number, the summary number, but when you look at the components, the salaries, the rent, gasoline's going higher, milk and eggs, they're not particularly going down. There's no indication they're going down at all. Recession. Yes, you're in a recession, 2 negative quarters of GDP growth, and that recession is manifest in the labor number released today. 243,000, 245. It's just hard to read what they said because they revised last week and they revised the week before. It's still around 240 to 260. That's not a good number. It's basically the second highest number of the year. The next item on the first page is the Federal Reserve. The Federal Reserve will have that major speech from Jay Powell, head of the Federal Reserve, at Jackson Hole on Friday. He's likely to say, we're going to stay with interest rate spikes until we get inflation to our target of 2%. And those interest rate spikes are likely to be what we've done before. Wall Street really betted against this by saying, no, it could be something else. Well, guess what? That's what we're likely to see in that Jackson Hole speech tomorrow. 75 basis points, consecutive raises across the board. That's what's likely to happen left and right. Now, what do we have in the next page of the worksheets? That next page of the worksheets is huge. So much across the board. And what do we have in the next page of worksheets? We have a table, and that table has really helped people. Last weekend, one person got 14 months of rent. Another person got 14 months of rent the day before that. Another person the day before that got 12 months of utilities. Spelly got check A and check C. And then one viewer out of Florida got 80 to 100 checks. Let's look at this incredible page 2. Page 2, I'm encouraging viewers to really print out multiple copies because when I made it, it really only has about 20 rows. There's now 100 plus checks for you to get. Check A is really one check in that category. Check B's category is really 80 plus checks because you're going to apply for your mortgage or your rent plus your utilities, which is about 4 bills per month. So that's 5 bills per month. And viewers are getting about an average 14 months. 14 times 5, that's 80 checks right there. Check C, the same situation. But with Check C, you have 12 places to reach out to in the membership newsletter. Check E to K are basically one check. And then check L and M. L is one check, but M is a lot of different checks. We're going to go over all those incredible checks in a second. You want to fill out this page of the worksheet. One viewer did, but she forgot to look at it. Then the state of Florida said, ma'am, you've been approved. She's been approved. For one check, no. For a couple of checks, she got approved for her mortgage. For 1 month, no. 18 months of her mortgage. Wow. It gets better than that. She filled out for her utilities. If that utilities was 4 utilities plus her mortgage, that's 5 checks. 18 months, 5 times 18. Wow, that's a whopping 80 to 100 checks. Incredible. The next page of the worksheet is the gasoline. Told you so. Told you so. Gasoline is tracking higher on the international price of Brent crude. Domestic unleaded is tracking down, but don't bet on that indefinitely. Student loan debt forgiveness, we just went over. Student loan debt forgiveness will phase out on this channel in the next few days. And then the last page is your benefit raises. You can run the different numbers. Seniors League saying 10.1% raise. I'm saying a little bit more. What do you think? I think it is more across the board. In the big second half, we're going to go over check A to C. Those incredible checks that pay about $100,000 past the month of March by executive action. Then we'll go over checks E through K, passed by Congress last weekend. Lots of wonderful, great checks. It's 7 new categories of checks. And then the 2 new checks you're hearing for the first time on Mornings LA, L and M. L like lots and M like money. It's incredible sums of money. About $104,000 in this L and M. Boy, so much money. Become a member, Purple Hawk, Purple Power Casino VIP. Stay with me, and in the big second half, we'll go over these huge checks. It's just getting started from the shores of Santa Monica, California. Become a member, Purple Hawk, Purple Power Casino VIP, and stay with me in the big second half. We're going to go over all these incredible checks. As a big, bold, beautiful broadcast from the shores of Santa Monica, California for August 25th continues.
If you want money right now, not 5 days from now, and not 5 weeks from now, then reach out to the community page. The volunteers can help you find that money for rent and utilities. That's at news.lalate.com/community. The community page features a series of volunteers who are viewers like you. They can help you find rent, utilities, SNAP, food benefits, mortgage assistance, and help you with eviction moratorium questions as well. Their Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram individuals reach out to them and indicate the city and state you're from, and they'll get back to you shortly. That's a community page. Volunteers working for you, viewers helping one another. Stay with LA for more. Join LALATE Daily for the excitement of the new LALATE live daily. The excitement starts on Mornings LALATE at 9 a.m. Home LALATE returns at 11 a.m. daily. And then afternoons LALATE at 1 p.m. Join us daily as the excitement continues live from Santa Monica on LALATE.
And the excitement continues right now in the big shore of Santa Monica, California for a beautiful broadcast. I hope you're excited. I certainly am. 2 new checks becoming law. So much excitement across the board. We're up to 12 categories of checks, and it's a big week with the latest numbers on labor released today. J-POW tomorrow. The student loan debt forgiveness yesterday. Oh, it's just getting started. I'm so excited for you. From the shores of Santa Monica, California. God, it's just a great day. We got a lot of money coming up, and we're going to start with those big 4 stimulus checks in every U.S. state, starting right now. The President of the United States, back in the month of March, passed the first 3 checks. Then Congress passed the next 7 checks 2 weekends ago. And now we have 2 more checks on top of that. It's incredible. Huge sums of money. I'm so excited from you. For the shores of Santa Monica, California, it's a big, bold, beautiful broadcast, and we are excited for these big sums of money. Become a member, Purple Hawk, Purple Power Casino VIP. We're going to go over all these incredible checks starting right now. The first 3 checks became law by the President of the United States back in the month of March. They are check A, B, and C. Let's go over those checks starting right now. A is $6,500 to $12,000. It's a 4 stimulus check in every U.S. state. Single individual, $75,000 less, go get it. Married couple, $150,000 less, go get it. If you're on benefits, SSI, SSDI, Social Security, or railroad benefits, go get it as well. How do you get it? Step 1, you go under the video, become a member. Purple Hawk, Purple Power Casino VIP. Then get that incredible newsletter Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and go get check A. We're not done there yet. You're going to go get check B. Check B is a wonderful $15,000 to $80,000 4th stimulus check in every U.S. state. Single individual, $75,000 less, go get it. Married couple, $150,000 less, go get it. How do you get it? Step 1, go into the video, become a member. Purple Hawk, Purple Power Casino VIP. Go in the membership newsletter, you get that wonderful check B. You're not done there yet. You're going to go into this video, and then you're going to go get check C. Check C is wonderful. It's about $2,000. No, viewers are getting a lot more than that. $45,000, it is for rent, utilities, mortgage assistance, and more. Become a member. Purple Hawk, Purple Power Casino VIP. Get that newsletter Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. It tells you who to call, what to say, and how to say it. It's for rent, utilities, mortgage assistance, and more. You deserve these big sums of money. Go get them across the board. These incredible check C's are huge. Huge, huge, huge. We've been getting them on this channel for a long time. For nearly 2 years. It's the residue of 3rd stimulus, and you qualify. Let's look at some of the success stories. From this, all the way up to $30,000, go get check C for rent. Utilities. Want to get some utilities? Go get it. Mark's brother-in-law got $15,000. For SNAP, wow, the same brother-in-law is getting $250,000. For this, go get a combinations of checks from Nisi all the way up to Nancy. Well, Nisi got 23, she went to 50,000. Mark was at 32,000, he went to $166,000. He went to this graphic, then he went to 100,000, then he went to 166. And Lorraine, she was at 105, then she went to 155. Wow, incredible. You deserve these big sums of money. Remember, the membership newsletter tells you who to call, what to say, and how to say it. And there, my friends, is check A through C. Well, we're not done there yet. You're going to go get then checks E through K. E through K are absolutely incredible, and you deserve these big sums of money. You deserve them across the board. Check E is featured in the membership newsletter, lower past A, B, and C. And check E is huge. It is $7,500. Check F is a big $4,000. Check K, check G is 30% off. Check H is $2,000. Check I is $8,000. Check J is $8,000. Check K is $14,000. Just incredible. All in the membership newsletter. And then, out of nowhere, came check L and M. L like lots and M like money. Check L is a $100,000 on average, loan interest free if you want to buy a new home. Most states are now providing $100,000 on average of loan interest free money for the buying of that new home. Then M like money. $4,000 of free money grants. You don't have to repay it back for closing costs on those homes. Lots of different checks for closing costs. That's M. So L on average about $100,000 of loan interest free, and then M for closing costs on buying that home. Incredible. L and M now in the membership newsletter. Pass E through K. Go get it across the board. So excited for you. Go get these big sums of money. Another news story is hitting today is a comment out from a economist. He's not any economist. He's a Nobel laureate, Nobel Peace winner. And the comment by him is that there is no recession. What are his comments? Let's go over his comments today, and I'll have my reaction to his comments as well. Who is he? He's Richard Thau, who's a Nobel Peace Prize-winning economist. And he said the following comments today about this economy. I don't see anything in this economy, he says, that resembles a recession. We have record low unemployment, record high vacancies. That looks like a strong economy. The economy is growing. It's just slightly less fast than prices, and that means GDP fell a little bit. It's hard to call a recession. It's not like a recession in my lifetime. We have at least some high prices we're observing that caused directly by Ukraine or supply problems out of China. And we both believe that those factors may be temporary. We'll maybe still be fighting Ukraine for a year from now, and we still might have COVID in China, but we hope that's still not the case. It's just funny to call it a recession. What's my reaction to those comments? First, I don't like anyone calling a financial situation funny. He is basically saying some people call it a recession, that's sort of funny. No. Some people are really struggling through this economy. It's not funny that some people are struggling and some people are not struggling. He's basically saying that generally people are not struggling, and that's funny to call a recession. I don't like that comment. I personally don't like it. I don't like the terminology. Number two, what is he doing? He's doing what we've seen before, where people say it's not a recession because I'm going to give you one data point. That one data point I'm going to give you is the unemployment rate is the lowest since 1969, and hence it's not a recession. Guess what? I could do the complete reverse. I can tell you it is a recession because the housing industry is a recession. The housing industry is suffering the lowest number of new home starts, existing home sales, price drops, builder confidence since almost 15 years, since 2011. We feature this on this channel. Home prices fell the biggest decline since 2011 on August 24th, according to Black Knight. Housing recession. The drop was manifested by the National Association of Home Builders, showing the largest consecutive monthly drop. Then we have the housing starts, the housing cancellations. All this data is the worst we've seen in 15, 20 years. Yeah, it's really easy to say there's no recession because of the lowest unemployment rate since 1969, and hence there's no recession. It's very easy to do the reverse. There is a recession because I see really bad data in housing. Well, guess what? I can use other data as well that evidences a recession. Number of companies downward guiding day after day, left and right. And today was much the same. Dollar Tree and other companies downward guiding for the rest of this year. So you can certainly take one data point and run it out and say there is a recession. Plus, he says the reason why the inflation is here is because of Putin invaded Ukraine. He says the supply chain disruption is because of Putin invaded Ukraine and because of China COVID lockdowns. No, let's forget what went on here. The supply chain disruption that hit the United States was caused by people coming off a lockdown. There was not enough truck drivers. They're not able to ship those products. And that was in January, at least, at the latest, 2022. Putin did not invade Ukraine until March. Supply chain disruption predates Putin invading Ukraine. Doesn't work there. Then, the China COVID issue that heated up in March was in March. We already had supply chain disruption by March. So again, that narrative doesn't really make sense. Again, a very, very smart guy, but really his analysis I don't agree with. And I don't believe he's the last person who's going to do this. The last person is going to say there's no recession because the labor rate's lower. 240,000 new jobless claims is not a great number. It really is not a great number. And when you look at consumer confidence, builder starts, there's actually no home building at all now, says the National Association of Home Builders. Do you think that's a really robust economy? No. Ultimately, I think it's very easy to take data and make your pitch. Ultimately, that's not what we do here. We run all the data on this channel and make sure you can ultimately determine where it is. Today, the broadcasting continues on Afternoons LALATE, a brand new show at 3 o'clock. We'll have the latest details on more about this economy. Student loan debt forgiveness, new stimulus checks, 12 categories, 100 checks, oil, why it's tracking higher, and why supply chain disruption is not going away anytime soon, and why those comments from Jay Powell here this week are certainly very predictable. We'll go over more success stories from members on evenings, LALATE, at 5 o'clock Pacific Standard Time from the shores of Santa Monica, California. So much to go over and so little time. Go under this video, become a member. Purple Hawk, Purple Power Cow, so you know VIP. The biggest week that there was continues. It's a big day and it's a big week. Stay informed, stay focused, stay here, and always stay with LALATE. The toast is toasted, the butter is buttering, and the details continue all throughout the day on LALATE.